Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. This year is set to be one of the greatest years for Star Citizen, irrespective of whether server meshing and Pyro release, and today I would like to talk about why. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. So there is this belief that because server meshing and Pyro is now slated for end of this year, so very likely next year, that 2023 will be a very poor year for Star Citizen, and specifically referring to the persistent universe. Now, this could not be further from the truth. Understandably, I saw a lot of people getting very disappointed when we learned server meshing, Pyro being Alpha 4.0, getting pushed all the way to the end of the year, and I completely understand that disappointment, as I too was really hoping to see this patch make its way in much earlier. But when it comes to the persistent universe, aside from bringing more server stability, which I know is of great importance right now, server meshing's other significant improvements were increasing the player count and increasing the play area with the Pyro system, neither of which are what will make the PU more fun or enjoyable to play, as Stanton is big enough for now, and 100 player servers are more than enough considering there is very limited multi-crew options. Now with 3.18, when it finally arrives to the live servers, we will have persistent entity streaming, which tracks and stores the state of all entities on the persistent universe, allowing them to be recovered as and when needed, basically allowing all items to persist indefinitely. Now for me, persistent entity streaming has always been a bigger deal, not that I'm not overly excited to see a new system finally, but because this is what Chris Roberts was referring to when he said the floodgates can open, which we are somewhat seeing in the PU for 3.18. So basically, persistent entity streaming allows the game content to fully expand, meaning new missions, deeper mechanics, more locations, as well as this physicalization of everything, which in itself opens the door to so much gameplay. What we need now for the persistent universe is not more planets or bigger player counts, but more content, more reason for multi-crew, more performance and stability, and stuff to do for both the solo players and those looking to join forces. And this is all what CIG plan to focus on this year, as we heard in the letter from the chairman, stating that the resource network is going to roll out this year, which will bring multi-crew to the next level, requiring an engineer or multiple engineers to help maintain and keep ships running, meaning other members of the crew will be monitoring the engineering screens, swapping out components, rerouting power, potentially putting out fires and retrieving new components or relay nodes to replace the old ones. Also, with the cargo refactor now in and continuing to develop throughout this year, we will see more need for more hands to help move cargo from freight elevators or just simply the loading and unloading of your ship. Now in terms of gameplay, we are also going to see, as mentioned, the expansion of the cargo refactor, and as we have recently heard, they are already creating new missions to transport big boxes and multi-box missions as well, which is a game mechanic that I have been looking forwards to since I discovered the project, and will be applicable for both solo players and multi-crewing. Bounty hunting is also expanding in a big way this year to more of what CIG want it to be, with tracking and evading and hiding your tracks as a bounty or as the bounty hunter using various methods to find where the bounty has gone. It will also bring restraints and the bounty admin office to hand bounties into, and I would not be surprised if there are new apps and guilds to build reputation with and get missions from. I also suspect that salvaging will continue to expand beyond hull scraping this year, as vehicle munching is in the works already, and once we have the resource network, then the actual activity of boarding a salvageable ship to extract its components and cargo will be possible. Now, one big thing that server meshing will help with is server stability, which is certainly one aspect of 4.0 that will be missed until it does come along. Of course, this will also help with AI. However, CIG are working on other aspects that will help with NPCs and allow for much better performing AI, which are less affected by the server tick rate. And as Chris did mention in his letter, this year they will be adding more deep combat AI, which will make teaming up even more necessary. And I suppose finally, one of the more important series of improvements coming this year that will drastically improve everyone's persistent universe experience way before 4.0 comes along are just general bug fixing and quality of life improvements, integrating much of the work from the Squadron 42 branch into the PU, which is certainly stuff that we have all been crying out for. More character movements, better, cleaner interactions with the game world, converting these ship MFDs to building blocks to better their use and functionality, not to mention the continuation of work on the Gen 12 renderer for multi-threading improvements and optimizations, as well as hooking up the Vulkan Graphics API, which, as they put it, will unlock even more performance gains. Improved matchmaking as well, so that we can continue to play on the same server time and time again. Plus, more developed scanning, the star map, local area map and FPS map, all many features that are desperately needed now, planned for this year, far more important than more players and more planets. So you see, as exciting as Pyro, server meshing and Alpha 4.0 is, regardless of whether we get that this year or next year, for me I am more excited about the expansion of the current persistent universe, and now that persistent entity streaming is in and will continue to be improved, the game can truly open up to much deeper gameplay and improvements. That will bring far more fun and playability to the verse, which I think most players are actually waiting for. As I say, I too am very excited for 4.0 and all that that will bring, not to mention it just being a huge step to the final goal of Star Citizen's PU getting realised, but I'm certain that this year we will see the PU get to the point where we are actively choosing to play more and not getting as frustrated as much as before and quitting. This year is going to be a big year for Star Citizen in more than one way, and for me personally that will start with Alpha 3.18, as it is truly something special, even with many of these bugs that are borderline blockers, and hopefully they will resolve those issues ASAP and get it out so everyone can play. But I am so eager to see what 3.19 holds. With PES now available, I feel like it's going to be a very content-rich patch, as well as any Point X build to bridge the gap till 4.0 arrives. But that is just my 2 cents into why this year is not a dud for Star Citizen just because 4.0 was pushed till the end of the year, and why my hype is already high with what I have experienced in Alpha 3.18, setting that foundation for a great year ahead. But with that said, if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing. Also, come and hang out over at twitch.tv/supermacbrother. You are all more than welcome over there. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.